hopefully everywhere. Hopefully we are live everywhere. And hopefully you can hear me. Good morning, everybody. Daniel Allison, the average dude. I'm going to pull my mic a little closer because it's going to be a great day. Good morning, Freddie Blanton.
Good morning, Daniel, the average dude, Allison.
Let's go. Let's go. I love doing this program because it's all about I'm here for myself, Fred. I'm going to get my mind right. I hope everybody else gets their mind right. But that was a great introduction. Thank you for that.
We know you have selfish desires. It's okay. We all struggle with it.
We all struggle with it a little bit. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and say I do see some sunshine from LinkedIn. Maybe this means we're going to have commenters from LinkedIn.
It looks like it. Morning, Ray, AJ.
AJ on the bus Friday. Time to shine, kids. Absolutely. We've got two great guests on this Friday. So excited to do a little interviewing. How are you feeling about your interview skills this morning, Fred?
It doesn't matter. If I've got you as my co-host, there's times where I can go 10, 11, 12 minutes and don't have to say a word, which I'm fine with.
Now, that's not true. That is not true, not one little bit. Now, you tell these listeners the truth. I am not one to talk.
The truth is, it's time to take a sip of coffee.
Let's get it. You got to believe in the power of the first sip. There's something about it. We've done it for 425 days because there's power. And Larry knows all about it. Happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Here's Joe Buongiorno with a little note. Good Friday to all and a sacrifice by Jesus for all of us. Stop at 3 p.m. for a moment of reflection. What a great idea from Joe. Aaron says personal development isn't the most important thing in life. It ranks right up there with oxygen. I like that. I like that, Aaron. It's a big deal. We got to be, hey, you're growing or slowing. Fantastic to have all these new faces as well. We got a couple of new faces. Jason, great to have you here. We do this every single weekday morning. We do it to motivate ourselves, to inspire ourselves. Why else do we do this, Fred?
Well, here's the real issue. It's like a team. A lot of us are individuals at our job. We're out here trying to make it solo. We don't have a group huddle. We can't gather around, get all jacked up, fired up in the mornings because we're flying solo. This is the opportunity to get that done.
Ooh, that's it. I love it. And there's JK. He's got his coffee. He's got his lightning bolts. We know what that means. I wonder what time it is, wherever JK is in the world right now. Probably, there's no telling. There's no telling. It's always. I've always got to look at a map and a time chart when he's here. Great Friday. There's Paul Pappy. Great Friday. Let's go. Hey, we're going to be talking about people and processes and systems and manufacturing and construction. We've got two of the top names to talk about leadership and construction and manufacturing, all the good stuff, So I'm super excited to invite these two guests. Now, you know one of them and you don't know the other. So what would you say about Trent McJunkin? When you think about Trent McJunkin, what comes to mind from the time that you've had to interact with Trent? What comes to mind?
Baller.
Baller.
Somebody that is actively climbing the ladder,
Actively
seeking new information, sharing new information.
Absolutely. I would agree with all those. Ding, ding, ding. Trent McJunkin Consulting Group, John Maxwell trained. And I love it. He's a reliability expert. He knows exactly how to trim the waste, not just from a factory line, but from your daily habits and professional identity. Here's Trent McJunkin. Trent, welcome.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, brother. Hey, And now I don't know if either one of you guys has met Adam Hoots before. Have you?
Now,
I
did
have not.
Adam make it to a First Sip live?
He did. He made it to a First Sip live, and that was when I originally met Adam Hoots, and I've had a chance to get to know him, to talk to him on the phone, and we always have these great conversations. So excited to introduce everybody to the Lean Shepherd, Adam Hoots. He's it's Dirty Boots Leadership is what I read. Dirty Boots Leadership. I love it. He doesn't just build buildings, he builds people. He's the guy who translates complex lean systems into human language that actually works on a job site. Ladies and gentlemen, Hoots on the ground.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here with you guys. I'm super excited to meet you, Trent. I'm looking forward to this very, very much.
it's gonna be great.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, I want to first say one thing about Trent McJunkin. He's always got his eyes out on other folks that are doing great things. So he's not caught in his own world. He's not just doing his own thing. And as a matter of fact, Adam Hoots, the person that put you on my radar and said, dude, you've got to check this guy out, is this gentleman right here, Trent McJunkin. And so I would like to ask Trent what he saw about what Adam was doing that he appreciated. And he said, hey, this guy's doing some great stuff. What have you seen from Adam that you appreciated, Trent?
So I heard Adam a few times on a podcast, and it was centered around lean and construction. And what I really enjoyed about it was it wasn't just entrenched in theory. It wasn't something that you're just going to go read a book on and it's very dry. He's a regular guy who cares about construction, cares about the industry, and cares about the people who build and maintain the world around us. So I was like, that's my kind of person. So I became a quick fan.
Man, that's so cool, Trent. Thank you, Trent.
Adam, how did he do? How did he do there? Do you think, did he describe Adam?
He nailed it, man. I appreciate it, Trent. I'm so grateful for the feedback and yes, just thank you, man, so much, because it is, the people doing the work have the least amount of control to influence the outcome, and they're just kind of stuck in a system, and in construction most of the time it's vicious. So again, thank you, Trent, because it is a labor of love, my friend.
Oh yeah, I mean, you hear all the time a bad system beats a good person, so it's kind of up to us to help build the good system.
Amen.
Adam, for folks that don't know you, if you would just give us kind of you've been in construction in that world for 20 plus years. Give us the 30,000 foot view flyover of your career and what you do.
Yeah, I'd love to. I appreciate that question. So started as a plumber. I hated it. Nobody respected me, not even myself. And so I've been on a mission ever since to change it. I was a general contractor for about 17 years. I've been a lean construction coach for 5 now, currently serving as a owner's rep on a mega project here in Blythewood, South Carolina. So in addition, my passion took me to the classroom. So the last 4 years, I got a master's degree. I'm pursuing a PhD, and even more important, I'm teaching the next generation of builders. So from a high level, I mean, that's my career. I've kind of had every seat in the business, from plumbing to project manager to superintendent to director to OpEx. And I realized that, we really just got to go ask the people, man. They got all the answers if you just go engage and pull it out of them and empower them to talk to you. And it's not a hard thing. It's really not. But for some reason in construction, it's a struggle. And I think that's got a lot to do with our mental health issues as well here in the business. So I'm on a mission to really just help trade workers have as much pride in their career as they do in their work. Like, that's me.
Pride. Fred?
Why do you think for so long there was such a lack of respect for the blue collar field? I see a shift now, or I believe I feel it, and maybe it's the money, but why for so long a lack of respect?
I think it was accepted, right? It was just the way we've always done things, right? You do as I say, and it's been a very hierarchical business. But as we start to lose people, and that next generation's not standing for it, and you know what? Good for them, right? Like some of us might look at them and call them lazy, but honestly, it's good for them, right? Like have a little backbone, have some boundaries, and let's make it a better place to work. Let's have fun, right? Like, you know, that's a hard question, Freddie. I'd love to hear Trent's opinion or Mr. Daniel's opinion on that as well. I don't know that I have a solid answer.
Trent, what popped into your head?
I think it's similar to what Adam's saying. You know, for the longest time, it kind of brings this whole feeling of, you know, you're just pushing around a toolbox in a factory, you're riding around in a work truck, you're in that role because that's the only option you have. But now this is something that people are actively pursuing. It's becoming more attractive, and it's changing the way the workforce operates, as opposed to what the status quo has been in most of mine and Adam's careers.
I want to jump in here. I like that. Why is it hard to ask for help? Adam kind of alluded to that earlier. And, you know, the blue collar world, it's a tough guy world, right? Even the construction world in general, we're not supposed to ask for help. We may not even supposed to be having emotions. We're supposed to be tough guys. So how do we make it comfortable for folks? Maybe there's someone out there right now, guys, that's part of a team that's struggling. What do we say to this person to try to integrate them and to make them feel like they're part of the team and they're making progress? How do we do it?
Personally, I don't think it's anything you have to say, right? I think it's a matter of just making sure that person knows that they're seen and they're heard and they're valued. Like, to me, that's it. And what happens is it's an interesting phenomenon, right? And Daniel, I've seen you do it so well. It's like, you know, when somebody is kind of running themselves off a cliff in the conversation, you bail them out. You make it safer for them. You know, you create this environment where you're not going to let anybody fail. And that's what great leaders do through, I think, emotional intelligence and leadership style. And they're able to develop a trust that, like a bond between the team, that people do anything for you.
I love that. Trent, you've got a saying that I'd like for you to talk about some, and this is the way that you were described: brilliant at the basics. Brilliant at the basics. That sounds kind of average dude-ish. I mean, what does brilliant at the basics mean?
I think it means just being focused on what the foundational skill set is. You know, getting time on the tools, repetition, doing those simple things over and over and over until you do them exceptionally well. And you can translate that into the leadership world, where there's always been this stigma of you've got to be, you know, thick-skinned, figure it out, don't talk about your problems as a leader. You know, you can be brilliant at the basics by showing these people that you care about them, you want them to succeed, and you're there for them. You know, those are kind of the basics of leadership.
Man, when I hear that, Daniel, I think questions, right? Like, being brilliant at asking questions is how we allow and empower people and pull information, knowledge, resources out of folks. And there's nothing more basic than asking a question. But when you can be asked a brilliant question, oh, that unlocks the world.
I like that. Fred, anything pop into your mind when you think about that?
Yeah, well, everybody wants to be seen. And then most people have something to say. So when a leader actually takes the time, asks the brilliant question, hey, how do you feel? What do you think about this? Just that little bit of input can change somebody's day, week, month, their whole attitude.
Man, being recognized in this world with all the social media, all the talent, all the people in general, all the fighting, when somebody tells you somebody tells you that you're doing good and that you've done something well, man, that feels good at any age, doesn't it? I mean, it really does. And I agree with Adam. Make it comfortable for folks to express themselves and to say what's on their mind. That's good stuff. What about this term?
I know that one pretty well. You may know that one as well, Trent, huh?
I've heard that one.
So,
Hey,
so I, so
go
shout
ahead,
out to
Adam.
Davey. I want to shout out Davey Thompson. He's my buddy over the pond in the UK. He allowed me to take this one, right. He looks at Six Sigma black belts as bullshido now, because there's so many different like variations, and you can buy them at Walmart and all this stuff. And the official term actually came from, folks bringing martial arts and combining a couple of 3 or 4 different martial arts and making their own thing, which was coined bullshido. And so to me, I love it, because there's a lot of lean construction consultants that do the same thing, right? They come in and they sprinkle this and they sprinkle that, and you have to do this, and they're not listening to the team and doing the basics that we're talking about. And then all of a sudden they're just trying to drive their own process or system, and the whole team's looking at them and saying, man, that's bullshit. Like, just get it out of here. The stuff we had before was better. And so, this is a passion of mine right here. We got to weed this out, because it causes chaos and confusion, versus what we're after, which is clarity, right? And goal, like alignment around goals. And so when we can eliminate the bullshido, man, we go so much further faster.
What comes to your mind there?
I like the calling out some consultants there. You see this in every industry in every world. People come in and they say, here's this playbook, we're going to run it, and we're going to fix all the things, but nobody's having the conversation with the people who are actually doing the work. It's hard to get people who come to a job site or come to a factory for 10, 12 hours a day to care about the business when it's obvious that the business isn't really caring well for them. You can't expect someone to improve a process or do their best work without asking them what's standing in the way of doing the best job you possibly can do. And maybe that's, they spend 15 minutes of their 30-minute lunch break waiting on a microwave to get freed up because half of them don't work.
Yes.
Maybe there's not enough restaurant at the facility. Maybe they don't operate function properly. A lot of things are not a consultant issue. It's just a human asking questions of another human issue.
Yeah, you just reminded me my hatred for the word consultant and why I appreciate being a coach so much, right? Like, a coach is on the sidelines in the game, calling plays, seeing real things happen and engaging. And in my opinion, a consultant's like got all the answers and able to deliver you this book that just do what I say, and it's going to work. And another thing you said is like a popular term in construction is, hey, I'm going to go walk the job. And it's a pet peeve of mine. No, you're not. Like, if you walk the job, you're looking at the work, right? And so, Trent, I'm sure you're very familiar with the Ono circle, right? Hey, you're going to stand this project. You're going to stand there for 10, 15, 30, 45 minutes, however long it takes, to watch a cycle of work happen. And only then are you paying attention to the worker. And only then are you able to really make a difference in their life. And so if anybody ever tells you, hey, I'm going to walk the job, make sure you remind them to stand and pay attention to the person doing the work, because only then can you make true improvements in what we're doing. Otherwise, you're just looking at the progress of the work, and it doesn't really do much for you other than give you ammo to yell at somebody. So if you really want to make an improvement, stand the job, don't walk the job.
Now, you guys are both tasked with big responsibilities to take care of manufacturing facilities, to build buildings. Why do you think it's important? Why do y'all both talk about people and the way that people feel so much, right? I mean, if we're trying to get things done, isn't the bottom line of are we getting the work done? Isn't that important? Trent, what do you think?
So I had to learn this the hard way. Whenever you're working with people, you can either drive results through people, or you can build people who drive results. And Adam or myself could not go and build a factory from scratch by ourselves. We need to have people who are educated, equipped, empowered to go do the thing they're great at. I mean, some people do art with concrete. Some people do art with conduit runs, and it's beautiful.
It
and
is.
we need to make sure those people can do the best job they possibly can by eliminating roadblocks and all these little things that stack up that cause these issues. I mean, a change order shows up weeks before it lands in your inbox. And if you look at your schedule, somebody in the field knew that schedule was slipping before it showed up in the calendar.
Absolutely. Adam, what's it like when you see someone, you help them, you kind of get them confident in what they're doing, and you set them on their way, and you got them believing in themselves? How does that feel from your side of the desk to see this person really start to excel and start getting it?
Man, I'll tell you what, I'm a little bit selfish, and so I have to watch that, right? Like I got to make sure that my heart's in it for the right reasons, and but it feels good, man. It feels like mission complete, right? Because you then also, not only do you make a change in that person's life, but you task them with doing that to the next person, right? And I think that is the absolute most important thing in the world to get that exponential change that this industry, construction, needs. We've got to start snowballing capability development, and not just that, but man, like it's to a point in construction where we have to develop the capabilities just to develop capability, because we're too hard at doing things. We're running, we're just going, and the pause and reflect isn't really there. It's not built into what we do because we're too busy. So
I like that. Fred, anything on your mind?
Well, that's a great point. We talk about on this show a lot. You got to be able to look back and see how far you've come, even on a job site or even at the facility, because time flies. You don't want to get caught up in just being busy.
It's mindset, it's team, it's communication. It doesn't matter if you're at Bobcat in manufacturing or in construction. When we are communicating, when everybody does feel seen, when everybody feels like they're contributing, it's more fun, right? We get more done. We're more effective. Everybody enjoys coming to work. We just interviewed the folks over at Refrigeration Heroes, and that's what I sense. I'm not at their water cooler, but Fred, we both kind of got that feeling. Man, they're playing to win. They're training to win.
Good environment. It's
a great environment. Let me think about this, or let me ask y'all this, and I want y'all to think about it. This is one. There's a lot of different opinions on it. And we all have different positions, but I'd love to hear what comes to y'all's mind. What is leadership? What is it? At the end of the day, man, there's so many opinions. I know John Maxwell, who's got unbelievable stuff. Trent just got back from a training seminar, so I'm going to start with him. And Fred, you're in on this too. What is leadership?
So I'll give you the one-liner. Leadership is influence, but how do you unpack that? Leadership is knowing the people that you've been given the responsibility of, knowing what motivates them, knowing what their roadblocks are, and understanding how to equip them better so they can do the best work possible, because everybody deserves to have joy in what they do every day. There's nothing better than seeing someone come to a job site that they did all the conduit runs in that building, and they get to tell their family about it. They get to tell people they care about. They point to this building on the interstate and say, hey, we built that. And they have good feelings about it. Or I worked there for so many years and I did this thing. And as leaders, you have that responsibility to lead those people well so that they can become who they aspire to be, meet their potential, and have them achieve something that they never thought was possible.
I love it. I'm gonna go to Freddie next. Freddie, you've played a lot of sports. You got boys playing ball now. You've been around coaches. You've been around a lot of different managers and folks like that. What is leadership?
Well, here's the way I look at it. If the leader is around and they've kind of set a requirement of how to do things, how to act, it's a great environment while he's there. The true impact is if he's out of the office for 2 days, off the job site for 2 days. How do they act when he's not there or she's not there? Are they capable and ready to keep the ball rolling the exact way that they were doing while the leader was watching them? That is the impact you're looking for.
Oh, I love that one, Freddie. I really like that. Adam?
Yeah, I like that too. I think, the culture of a project or the environment is determined by the worst behavior that the leader is willing to accept. And so I love what you're saying, Freddie. To me, I think there's 3 types of leaders. I think John Shook said that, right? There's transformational leadership, there's transactional leadership, and there's laissez-faire leadership. To me, I think we're talking about transformational leadership. And when I think about that, I love how Trent mentioned, leadership is influence. And when I break that down, I love to follow Mac's story, blue collar leadership. Mac's an amazing person as well. I know he's done a lot of John Maxwell trainings. He says leadership is character development. And he's got a 87-13 principle, which I absolutely love. And he says 87% of the reason that people are going to follow you is because of who you are. And 13% of the reason people follow you is because of what you know. And so it's character over competence. And when you take that down, and again, to kind of build off of Trent, like, it's service to others, right? It's putting people in positions that they never thought possible. It's continuing to work on yourself first before you engage with those other people, like making sure that your character is flawless, that you're doing the right things, that when no one's watching, when it's not important to anybody else, right? And to me, like, I bring my faith into this a lot as well. Like, I think of Jesus as the ultimate leader, right? Like, God was able to come into the game yet still stay out of it. And when he left, right, like, to me, there's leadership is character. It's character development. It's continuing to just work on yourself so hard until others, the other people around you, feel it and want it as well.
Good stuff. I'm glad I asked that question. But setting the tone, setting the example, what do you think about that? The leader and the responsibility that he has, the team goes as the leader goes very, very often. Would y'all agree with that?
100%.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of times you get the leader that wants the team to do something that, Freddie, we see this out at F3 sometimes, right? If you can't do it, don't cue it.
Exactly. Don't try to get everybody else to do something that you can't or won't do.
Absolutely. And it's amazing. Those types of leaders, we feel it when we're around those types of folks. So I want to give both of you guys an opportunity. I appreciate y'all being with us this morning. I'd like we'll start with Adam. Adam, you do so much. You are one of the busiest people. What is it? Where can people find you? And what would you like to share with people about Adam Hoots and what you offer?
Yeah, well, I'm not hard to find, so you can just Google me, I guess, or come to Blythewood or Clemson on Tuesdays. LinkedIn's a great source as well, but I want people to know that, right, it starts internally. It starts with self. And then once you get that figured out, like, man, maybe you could help your neighbor over there, right? Like, And then if that works, right, then maybe we can start thinking about a team and then an organization, right? And then we can expand it systematically from there. But it all starts with ourselves. And then the last thing I'll leave you with is, right, like there's two types of systems in this world. There's a virtuous system, which lives on forever in perfect harmony because it has the feedback that Freddie mentioned, and it has feed forward and it's concurrent controls. And then there's a vicious system, and the vicious system spins out of control because it doesn't have feedback, it doesn't pay attention to the feedback, it doesn't engage in feed forward, it doesn't have scoreboards, you don't know if you're winning or losing. And so, I would encourage people to think about their lives as a system, and how can you get just one thing under control, right? How can you look for feedback signals that tell you, yeah, you're on the right track, or hey, there's some variation in your plan, and when there's variation, address it right now. So
I love that. It starts with you. It starts with you. Even if you're not the leader, even if you're not the boss man, your life, your system, great stuff. Adam, thank you. Trent, where can folks find you and talk to the folks that you would like to have conversations with?
Yeah, you can Google me as well. Listen to me on other podcasts. Find me on LinkedIn. I'm always on LinkedIn, always available. I read all my messages. But if you are one of the people who feel like you are just stuck, or the water is up to your chin and you feel like you're starting to drown, I would love to have a conversation. I would love to buy you lunch and let's talk about it and see what we can do to start to create some margin and work on your own character development. As Adam said, it does start with the individual. There is no let's go fix the team. It starts with self, and to grow yourself, you have to know yourself, and we just have to discover what's your knack, what are you really good at, and what are the things that we need to put in place, some boundaries and some growth plans for you to start hitting some of those achievements that you've been wanting to hit, whether it's on a construction site, whether it's in a factory, whether it's I want to have some margin so that I can be home every night for dinner, whatever it is.
I love it, Trent. I love it. And let me just vouch for both of these guys. If you can there's value in a conversation with them. And that's why I have conversations with them and appreciate those connections, because it's good for us. It's good for us to connect with great people. So reach out and use these types of resources. Guys, thanks again. Freddie at Mobcat, I'm depending on you for a great final thought on this Friday. Close us out, brother.
Here it is. Both of these guys are leaders. Both of these guys are winners. They have won at every position they've been in. And just like the national championship football coach said, you don't believe them? Google them and you'll find out.
Let's go. I love it. See y'all Monday.